It's very hot. The plaster's going quick, but Desi's just in there doing the polishing up. He's done a marvellous job. He's an absolute trooper. He's a busy man, and I've been working flat out, and then he's here. It's weekend, and yeah, it's awesome. Desi, you're a trooper. So he's up there now. I'm staying on top of everything, keeping everything clean as best as I can, and just being a bloody good labourer as best as I can. So we'll go up now, have a look, see what he's up to. We've got the music going. We've got 80s music going. So it's kept us going all day, which is great. Anyway, I'm looking forward to a little nap, a little afternoon nap, maybe in the garden. So we'll go up there now, see Deso doing his last bit of polishing. Yeah, I think he'd be happy to get gone as well. Anyway, let's go. Oh, flat out. It's all flat out in here. I'm crawling around going on here by Des. Huh? It's looking marvellous. Marvellous. 25 degrees. It is 25 degrees or something crazy. Welcome to a fresh week. It's the good vibes are flowing. The feng shui is back in place because Desi's done an amazing job up there, and he worked like an absolute trooper. He did the bonding on the Friday evening, and then he came back and he did the skimming, and yeah, I think he lost some body weight there. It was warm and we were sweating. Desi more so, because he was just, I mean, ceiling work as well, but he's done a wicked job. So over the weekend, me and Becky got on a mad mission. I'll just show you around now. We tidied up. It was just, you couldn't get in here. And I couldn't find anything. I couldn't find any, just nothing. Even bits for the drill, a screwdriver. So now it's all cleared out. It's amazing. So it gives me a chance as well to get the lifter up for that ceiling, because I think there's 18 boards altogether. But wow, what a change. What a change just to have things in order. I can actually find stuff again. We even had a bit of a sort out in the bathroom. We're not swept it out, but we just got things in order. So the mission today is, I'll take you upstairs. I'll actually show you Desi's plastering, because it was wet last time you seen it when it was going on, but it's obviously the heat, it's dried out. We'll put the hot press, that's the box, it's just in position. There will be doors across here. How amazing is that? Isabella's been in, and it's so, it's just like silk. Honestly, it's some of the best plastering I've seen. It's amazing. So I am well chuffed with that. Bit of skirting board in here now. Get the door on. And then basically, that's one room. I keep stroking the walls, they're amazing. Desi, you've done an amazing job. So the big mission is Operation VCL again. Get all of the vapor control layer on the entire of Ewan's bedroom and in the bathroom there. Now, there was a bit of chatting over the weekend about moving this door. I mean, leave the door, leave that open, it'd be a plastered reveal. And this is obviously going to get boxed in there. But there is talk of me doing an angled door. So I could probably do a full 2'6" door here. I mean, it's tight, that's why we've got this skinnier boards for this room, but it is a cottage. And we have the overflow pipe here, which it's way above my head. So, I mean, I can still have the door. It's going to be inches, a couple of inches above my head, basically. So it's doable, but I have done it before with an angled door there. Could open in. But yeah, Becky and Louise and Emily from Camper Vibe, they were all stood here yesterday and they were like, yes, Sam, yes, it would be a good idea. And I was like, right. So I don't know. I think possibly, because then this would be like a Jack and Jill bathroom. So Isabella and Ewan can use it, and also we could use it as well. And it, you know, and Ewan still gets a good size room as well.
So I'm just going to interject Sam here a little minute, because I wanted to clarify the situation, because it's come up a few times with people asking in the comments why we only gave Ewan an ensuite and not Isabella. Well, the simple thing was, I did reply to a few people and explained, but when we first put the stud work in, we got both kids up here and we worked it out on the ground. We put markers on, showed the kids the spaces in the rooms. Now, Isabella had originally bagsed that half of the roof as her bedroom because she wanted the window that looked more onto the lake. And Ewan was not fussed and was happy with having the little extra window at the bottom. So that was great. Then it became apparent that where the stairs were coming to position, Ewan would have probably a perfect space for his ensuite, if you like, whereas Isabella would have to lose a significant portion of her bedroom space. She chose at that point, even though we'd put the pipework in, that she didn't want to do that. She'd prefer to have the bigger bedroom and not have a toilet and sink in there. There really isn't room for a shower. Someone said, why have you not put a shower in? Because there's not enough headlight, and already it was a squeeze getting those in. And it's not really necessary. It's just good to have a separate toilet. We did have the conversation with Ewan about whether or not he would mind if we changed the bathroom to just a second toilet up here so that Isabella could use it, and obviously Sam and I could use it, and guests could use it or anything. And he's kindly agreed to that, which isn't easy with a 12-year-old boy who was really excited about the thought that his bathroom was private. So he has said, yeah, he's fine to relinquish it because his side of the roof is actually bigger. So his bedroom space is still the same. But it just means that Sam would have to put a door in here and an angled door. And he was never really keen on doing that because it's an awkward space already. It's tight, it's narrow. But when Louise and Emily were here yesterday, we were having a good chat because Sam was actually out on a call. And she said, yeah, well, you know, it's quirky, isn't it? It's cottagey to have these little angles and weird doors. So I did say to her, you'll have to have a word with Sam when he comes. So when Sam came back, Louise had a word and said, come on, you know, it doesn't matter that it's not perfect. Because Sam is all about perfection and getting things straight and neat, and yeah, in case you haven't realised that already. So anyway, Ewan's okay about it. So because Ewan's okay about it, we didn't want to give him something and then take it away because that's not really very fair, but he's been a trooper about it and said, yeah, okay, I understand.
But yeah, that's it. Lots of offcuts and just offcuts and bits and bobs in the way. Doesn't faze me. Just going to get to it with the vapor control layer and get it done. So that's today's mission, is get this all covered up, airtight taped, ready to rock with the next phase of boarding. And honestly, when it's done, it's just going to be amazing because the upstairs with all the tricky angles section of the plasterboarding will be done. So I am looking forward to getting downstairs because it's all straight, and the way I've set the studs out as well, the boards just stand up, stand up, stand up. So voila, it's going to be great.
So we've got nests happening all over the show out here. Sam's not going to be happy. I've just been sat here watching. And then we know we've got the starlings up there, and they must be ready to fledge any time now. Then we've got these little pair of wagtails. I don't really know what they are. I need to research that. They run along the ground really fast, and they're quite tame. They don't seem ever afraid of us. When I'm editing it, I'll try and zoom in. But they look like they're flying up under the eave there. Can you just see one going in? Sam's not going to be happy with that. And then we've got a pair of swallows. Are they swifts or swallows? I always confuse the two. Coming in here around the back there. It's just our own fault for not sealing off you can see there, look. It's our fault for not putting the soffits on yet, and it's just going to have to wait now till after the season of nesting. This video this week is probably going to end up being a very bitty video because Sam and I are very excited about this. We are going away, just us. Well, not just us, but without the kids, we mean. It's my sister's 40th birthday and we're all going over to the UK. There's a few other of our friends in couples. They've hired out a house in the Lake District. And yes, Sam and I are going, just us. It's going to be so good. Sam's sister is very kindly flying over here. She's going to look after the kids and the animals. So yes, and it's much needed for Sam. He is worn out Anyway, what it's meant is that there's probably not going to be much footage this week of Sam actually doing any work, partly because he's not stopped with the fire service. 10 call outs this week while he's been on shift. So it's been crazy, and he hasn't even had chance to get started yet on Ewan's VCL layer, which is what he really wanted to get done. As you heard him say, he's just not a chance. He's been gone all day today on a bog fire, and it was apparently a big one, and they've struggled to get it under control. So yeah, today's been a write-off, and today's Monday and we go on Wednesday. So, and he'll want to pack and he'll want to unwind before we go, and he's got to pick his sister up, and I'm not sure. So what I've decided to do, and I hope nobody minds this video, is I'm going to address a few things that we haven't talked about on camera. A few common things that come up, and I do have a little bit of a rant, just to warn you. It's coming. So yeah, sorry for that now. I might bottle out and take it out anyway, and this will be non-relevant, but I feel like I need to address something that bothers me. So that is also coming a bit later in the video. So one of the questions is about the skylights, Velluxes. So we're using them as also a fire escape. So we're going to have like roll-out ladders that you store in some kind of place under there. But when we were doing the roof, which would have been probably the most appropriate time to do it, we just didn't have the funds. Everything we had was going to get that roof done, and we needed Desi and Francis, and that was our priority at the time. And the longer we had Desi and Francis, the more it was going to cost us. And Sam was on a tight deadline as well, because it was right before he was due to go do his fire service training. So we didn't have time and we didn't have the money to put those in at the time when most people would have done it. That's why they're not in now. So that will get addressed, but not just yet. Again, we're just pushing and pushing and pushing. That brings me to another point, the grant. Now, because Sam's been so busy with fire service, we've had problems obviously when we lost our plumber and we had to get another plumber. So there were things that's meant that we're not as far on as we thought we'd be, and we really realised a couple of weeks ago that we were never going to meet that second already extended deadline of the 13th of June. We didn't want to kind of feel like we were giving ourselves more time so we could slow down, but Sam is physically exhausted right now, and he's working so hard, and the fire's doing stuff for the fire service, it's physical, and often it's late nights and he's not coming home till late, and then he's knackered the next day, and it does slow him down. And he's also, the upstairs is taking a lot longer because of all the angles. It's complex. So we decided that we would approach the council and ask them if we could have a second extension. Now, we don't need 3 months, but they've given us 3 months. Well, I hope we don't need 3 months. So they've given us to the 13th of September. We really don't want to take that long, but it just takes that little bit of pressure off, has meant that we don't need to stress quite as much, because it was really affecting Sam mentally, knowing that was looming and that everybody is waiting for him to finish the plasterboarding. Everything is waiting for Sam to do the plasterboarding, and that feels like immense pressure, that we've got the electrician, the plumber and Desi the plasterer all waiting for Sam to do that. And that must feel quite overwhelming. Well, I know it feels overwhelming. So it's good that that's now kind of been taken away, and we don't have that looming quite as hard as we did. But that being said, as soon as we come back from the UK and our little break away, we're just going to blitz it then. It's going to be mission to get this done, so that we should only be maybe a few weeks past our original 13th of June deadline. We really don't want to go into September, partly because we've got family and friends coming to stay in the static caravan in August, so we need to be out of there, otherwise where are they going to be? Which brings me to my next thing that we haven't talked about, the caravan. So we have unfortunately been advised by the council that the caravan has to be gone within 3 months of us moving in. Either that, or we have to apply for retrospective planning to keep it. Now, from my limited understanding, it's tricky to get planning for something you can live in. This caravan is hooked up to our septic tank and obviously our water and whatnot because we need it at the moment while we're renovating. If we were wanting to keep the caravan, we would probably have to improve and upgrade our septic tank system, because currently at the moment it's allowed as it is historically, but only because it's still serving the same number of people, same number of bathrooms. If we were to add on more bathrooms and potentially, I suppose in their eyes, more people could stay, that could be a problem. The reason why we're not going to go down that route of applying for retrospective planning is because we will need storage, and the barn where we currently have everything at the moment, we want to renovate anyway into accommodation. So we want to save the planning side of things for potentially for that. And then where the caravan was, we're going to build what some of you probably remember, Sam was going to have kind of a tool shed, man cave type situation, and we need somewhere as well to store all of our animal feed and Tilly and Toby's straw and hay, which comes in huge bulk amounts, and I always am scrimping trying to find that every year because I can't store enough of it here. So ideally I want to be able to buy it in bulk and be able to store it on our property. So we need that, and we also need a bigger log store. So the plan is the caravan is going to go. We'll be sad to see it go in some ways, and in other ways not so sad. The timber that Sam cladded it in we will keep, because we will probably clad whatever we build with regards to the shed and the storage and everything. We'll probably just clad it in that. So yeah, the caravan is going to go. Okay, so you probably saw at the start of the video when Sam was walking around this wallpaper sample. Now, I totally get that this is not going to be everybody's taste, and so by all means you can be sat there screaming at the telly going, she's ridiculous and it's hideous. I don't even know if I'm definitely keeping this yet, but I kind of liked it and I was drawn to it because my vision for the bathroom is vintage, cosy vibes. As you already know, we're going quite traditional with the bathroom. I also am going to have Sam put some panelling on for me, and then I want a kind of a bold wallpaper for the top half of the bathroom. I was watching Ash from Morrigan's Cottage the other day and she was talking about panelling, and she's already put the green tiles in that I really loved in her shower, and I was like, gosh, we have some similar taste, Aisling and I, because panelling in the bathroom. I'll put a picture on of kind of my inspiration. But yes, that is something that we're working towards. But that brings me to my little rant that I mentioned earlier in the video. As I said, get it that not everyone's going to like this wallpaper, and I'm not even sure that I'm going to have this wallpaper, but I do not want myself to have doubts because of other people's input. And that is a problem that I have a lot on YouTube, in that people, and I'm sure they have good intentions, I'd like to think it's coming from a good place, want to tell me how much they like or dislike choices that we make. Now, sometimes people want to give us advice, and that's absolutely fine, especially when it comes to technical side of things. But when it comes to what we choose to decorate our home and how we do that, it's very personal, and I wouldn't dream of saying to somebody I didn't like their choices. And I would hope that people just show us the same courtesy, because in the past that hasn't happened, and it's really hard for me to read that because it makes me second guess everything I'm doing, and I'm already not a very, I wouldn't say I'm a very secure, confident person, and it affects me. And Sam doesn't care. Sam's not bothered. Sam will be like, well, I don't care, but I do care. And I'm being quite open and vulnerable there about the whole YouTube thing, is that I have found it quite difficult, a lot of it, especially when people can be quite vicious, and I find that hard to comprehend because I wouldn't behave that way. I wouldn't ever dream of commenting in a sort of a mean-spirited way on somebody's channel, no matter what it was about. And also we've had a few comments recently that have started up about Sam and I's appearance, our physical appearance, and they might only be superficial things that people comment on. And again, I get that it might be coming from a place of well-meaning, but it impacts me, not so much Sam, but it impacts me. And I don't know, these things stick in my head, and I've seen it on other people's channels, friends of mine and people that I watch, and people commenting on physical appearance. It's bad enough that people say negative things anyway, but when it's about how you look, I think we have to stop that. You know, it's not appropriate, and you just wouldn't say it to somebody face to face in the street. And I would hope you would never tell your family member these things either. I mean, it's just not, it's not nice, and it makes people question everything and overthink things, and it can cause real problems with your mental health, actually. So yeah, I'm not going to talk about it anymore. I've said my piece. Please do not do that anymore. Floor coverings is something that people are curious about. I would say at the moment it's potentially open to change all the time. We have a rough idea. So in the bathroom, I like a nice soft cozy floor to step out of the bath onto, or out of the shower onto. So tile for me was out in the bathroom. We haven't got underfloor heating either, so it really would have just felt like it made the room feel cold. So we're going with vinyl. It's like padded vinyl, and it's going to be a timber effect. We already actually have that bought, so that's definitely what's going in the bathroom. In the kitchen here and the utility room, the plan is flagstones. That is an expensive choice, and at the moment it very much is going to depend on finances. So yeah, that could change, but that would be my dream, to have that in here. I really want to go for the full cottage kitchen vibe. Sam's going to put me some beams up. If the flagstones pull off, it will look amazing in here, especially with the range and the fire. I think it'll just make the room. In the lounge, I mean, people know already that we're going to do panelling detail in that doorway there, but I think we might actually put some French doors in as well, just for the sound issues. But in the lounge, I think we might go with carpet. It's just much more nicer and cozier in there in the winter months. I might come to regret that with all our pets, but anyway, we will see how it goes. So the veggie patch, a few people have asked me for an update on it. Well, I have to say, well, it didn't quite go to plan at the start. The sweet peas and the peas are doing okay. They were under quite a bit of attack at first, and so hence why the sheep's wool is around now, and that seems to have done the trick actually, although I did catch a slug right on top of it the other day, so it might only be slightly effective. I wouldn't go and rush out and get any, because I'm not convinced it actually works, but they seem to be doing all right now and are starting to really take off. I planted this first bed out with radishes, lettuce, spring onions, and all of it was eaten. Nothing came about. All I've got to show for it are these 2 lettuces here, which I hope the camera picks them up. That's all that's left in this bed. So I've put some sheep's wool around them, and hoping that that will suffice and they'll be okay. Yeah, it was just a big learning curve, and also I've had very little time, and I just kind of, it's a case for me at the moment this year of just throwing things in the bed and seeing what happens. I've overplanted in various parts. I've just literally thrown seeds in, and I'm hoping that whatever grows, and anything that doesn't, it gives me a fighting chance. The cats are also a bit of a pest, and they will dig and try and poop anywhere there's fresh soil. So I've had to net the next bed that I'm going to show you now in an attempt to stop that from happening. But just to clarify, in this bed I've got sweet peas, oh, not forgetting my 2 little lettuces, garden peas, normal peas, more sweet peas, and then these are all strawberries. And so far they seem to be doing okay. I've got quite a few flowers on there, so fingers crossed we'll get a few strawberries this year. Well, then this bed, I've done a bit more barricading against the pests. So again, peas. I've got my onions in the back row. Here we've got lettuce, carrots, spring onions, radishes, and yeah, they seem to be doing okay. So far things are starting to go well in there, but we will see. Now in here, oh, that's wonky, I need to sort that out. But we've got cauliflower, broccoli, cabbage, lettuce and parsnips, and they seem to be doing well, considering that we've put all the sheep's wool around the edge and the netting has meant that things seem to be going well in this area, so I might do that next year. And then I've also got my tomato plants in, so it'd be interesting to see if the tomatoes produced anything. Got a few flowers coming, but they've only been in the ground a couple of weeks, but they seem to be doing all right. And then over in the arch I've got all my herbs, and then there are a few fruit bushes down along the front of the fencing. So I feel like it looks a bit barren. I mean, we've done so much digging and messing about, it's not surprising really, things are taking a while to grow. Hopefully next year this place will look very different. And I've also got my space for a polytunnel, sat there waiting for the day I can get one in. I am slightly nervous about polytunnels after all the storms we have here, but I would really love one, so maybe in the future. Hey Sam.
Yes.
What is cozy board?
It's not cozy, I tell you that. What is cozy board? It's basically an insulated plasterboard. It's sort of PIR stuck to plasterboard. You get it in various thicknesses. That's what cozy. Well, that's what they call cozy board. Slabs. I call it insulated plasterboard, but people here call it cozy board. So,
And what is PIR?
PIR is insulation. Basically, it's a dense foam insulation, which has like a foil stuck to it. I'm not actually sure what PIR stands for, because I don't need to know information like that, you know?
I'll find out and put it on the screen. Would you do it again?
No. I am doing it again on the barn. Once the house is done, it will be the barn, and I'll probably help people in the future, maybe with theirs, you know, and do it, but I don't know if I would actually go and buy another one at this state and then do it again, because I'm pretty sure it'll catch up with you in later life, because it's a lot of graft, and I'm glad I'm in my early 40s that I'm doing this while I've still got the beans in me. But yeah, I will be doing it again on the barn. So, but would I buy another one? No. I can pretty much answer it. But who knows? You might feel different. Women say that about babies, don't they? But oh, I'm not doing it again. But they have another. You know, you forget about the pain.
I can tell you now, it's a no from me.
No. For the sake of our marriage, it's a no.
It's a no. Don't judge. It's dusty. I've got these up. Someone asked me, what's my first meal going to be that I cook in this range? Well, to be honest with you, just being able to boil a kettle on here and have a cup of tea will be epic. But I don't know what will be. It'll be summer, so I'm not sure I'll be making a big. But the family favourites are definitely cottage pie or lasagna. Or what else is there, Sam? What does everyone love in?
Beef joint.
Stew.
Stew.
Yeah, beef stew, lamb stew. Oh, I don't know if I do lamb stew now.
All different soups.
We haven't had lamb in the house since we've had lamb surrounding us. We're all a bit traumatised by eating lamb right now.
No, I'm not.
Sam's not. But yeah, I don't know. Honestly, I can't wait to see how this works. And I know someone asked me, how does it work? I don't really fully know how it's going to all work. I know obviously you put your logs in coal and peat or whatever else in here, and then this is the oven bit where you'd put your stuff to cook. Down here, I think this is like a warming oven, so you could keep your plates warm down there, or if you were just trying to keep something warm, because honestly that would be a godsend, because Sam has a habit of getting a call out when I've just made dinner, and then it gets wrapped up and put in the oven. Actually, I don't even know why I'm saying that, because you never eat it, do you?
I do eat it.
You don't. You end up, all the lads, they go out and get takeaway, and then it's just sits there and then doesn't get eaten, gets given to the dogs. But anyway, I digress. I'm most excited about this, I think, getting this lit, and yeah, that's going to be a big moment for us.
Running a bath.
The bath, actually, yes, sorry. I'm torn between this being lit and the bath. Two big things there. That'll be big things for me. What are you most looking for? Hang on, I'll ask them.
Probably a bath. It's been years. I haven't had a bath for over 2 years.
Walking around the bed.
Oh, yeah, being able to walk around the bed
without falling into everything, because there's no room in our...
I'm like a ninja cat. Now that Becky's had the easy access side of the bed.
Only recently. Previously Sam had that.
Months.
But it's a tiny bedroom, our bedroom in the caravan, isn't it? And literally there's very minimal walking space around the bed.
I think we're all feeling the small space.
Yeah. Just having space again will be amazing, won't it?
Yeah, just being able to walk in a bedroom and walk around your side of the bed, it'd just be a pleasure.
Yeah, it's the little things.
It's the little things.
Nelly, what's your favourite thing going to be?
In front of the cooker, I think. Aren't you?
Yeah.
Yes, give me a kiss. Yes.
Actually, I've thought of another thing I'm looking forward to. A washing machine in the house and not in the barn. Can't complain pegging out washing with a view like that. Just absolutely love it here. I'll never ever tire of the views here. They're just amazing. So another thing that we actually did was we put all the climbers directly into the ground and took them out of the big tubs that they were in. I was worried about putting them in the ground because it's a lot of work in this clay soil, and I didn't want to add to Sam's list of things to do, but he did it, bless him, for me. And they're both, these two are climbing hydrangeas, and they both thrive in shade and north facing walls, which this is a north facing wall, so they're going to get the cold winds and yeah, not much sunlight, so fingers crossed they do okay, because I think they'll look lovely in a few years. The ESB. ESB is the electric board here in Ireland, and you can see the tail end comes up over there. So they came out and basically they're going to put a pole right over there, and then another one in Robertsfield. Our farmer friend who owns all the sheep, he kindly said that's fine, because we will be connecting to that pole down the back. You might be able to see it in the distance. But the ESB will not come out and connect us until the electricity's all been completed and the electrician has sent in his safety certificate, and then hopefully they'll come out. But it could be delays, there could be weeks. That's another reason why we need the grant extension, because we don't know how quick they're going to be getting that sorted. A few people are curious to know how much we've spent, and I will do a spend video, but I'm still working it out at the moment. So once we know that, and once we've submitted the grant, we'll probably do that, and we'll talk about what everything cost us and do a bit of a breakdown at that point. Here he comes, slow coach. Come on then, Toto. Now Toby, a few people have said, is Tilly pregnant? Here's Tilly. Here's Toto. Hi, beautiful. Hi. Hi, boy. He's a bit wary of the camera. Toby is losing his winter coat, and he always loses it in patches. And he looks a mess this time of year, to be honest, don't you? Oh, I know. he always looks sad. I had somebody say that basically they think Toby looks miserable, and we've put them in this field away from us. This is always how Toby's looked, even when he was living next to us in that field. He's always been a sad sack and plods along. He's a bit older. I think he's about 11, maybe 12. Aren't you? Is that cow shouting? And yes, you want a brush? Is that what you're here for? It's just how he is. Trust me, he's absolutely fine down here. There isn't a lot of grass at the minute. It's been very dry, so I am bringing them a little bit of hay. That's what you can hear, Tilly munching the hay. Are you waiting? You're such a good boy. Yeah, you are. And he does. I know he likes me. I say like, I wouldn't say love. It's taken a bit of time to get Toby's trust. But someone commented and said that how awful I was and what a terrible person I am to chuck the donkeys down the lane away from us, and after they'd come so close to us, and it really upset me, that, because I've worked so hard with the donkey sanctuary, and those that have watched us from the start will know Toby was on his own in the field because he couldn't be with other donkeys. He would have been very aggressive, and you know, his life would have been on his own in a field without shelter. We brought him back to our house, we gave him shelter, we worked with the donkey sanctuary, we got him gelded, castrated if you like, and introduced him to Tilly. And now he has companionship, don't you, sweetie? Yeah. He has company now, and that is more than we could have ever dreamed that Toby would get if it hadn't been that we took him in. So to say that we're terrible for putting him in a bigger field, which is what they need in the summer months, they need to roam, they need to exercise, they need to be able to graze and forage. That is their natural thing to do. And they're both literally 2 minutes from the house, and we come down every day. I still groom him. He's still getting the same interaction with us. I don't think he cares one iota, to be honest with you. I think as long as Toby has got food, and Tilly, they're happy, and they've got each other, and that's the most important thing, and that comes above what we want. I could be selfish and keep them in that small paddock all year round, but they'd be bored, frustrated, and be living off supplementary food all the time. So at least here they've got different things to look at, they've got a stream to drink from, and yeah, wood line to forage through. I've checked that wood line, by the way, there's nothing in there that they could be poisoned by. And yeah, I think he's much happier in here, and now we've got the shelter thanks to our Patreons. This is perfect for them through the summer months. And no, Tilly is not pregnant. I know she's a bit, but yeah, she's not pregnant because Toby here can't do that service, although he does try, bless him, don't you? You do try now and again. He's such a gentle little soul, but he is quiet, and he does always look depressed. He's always looked depressed ever since we first got him, and it's never changed. He is the typical Eeyore from Winnie the Pooh. So yeah, don't worry about him. Yeah, see him flinch then. I think he was definitely manhandled by whoever had him before. The guy that had him when we got him, he wouldn't have done it, but he found him on the road dumped. So I think whoever did that had not treated Toby very well, because he can sometimes be a little bit wary and standoffish, but he's been very loving today. He's waiting for his brushing, so I'm going to get that brush out now and yeah, give him a bit of a groom. Yes. And I think I'm going to leave it there now today, because it's Tuesday. I've not packed. Sam didn't get in till 2 last night. 3 call outs they had yesterday. 3 all day. I didn't see him all day, and nothing's he's not had a chance to do anything, bless him, and he's absolutely exhausted. He's still in bed. It's 8 o'clock now, 8 a.m. and I've just left him to sleep because he's absolutely shattered, the poor fella. And you know, we need to kind of, you know, it's like when you've got someone coming to stay in your home. I need to blitz the house, the caravan. I need to blitz the caravan, and I just need to find time to do that. So I'm going to call it now. I've probably waffled on more than I should have done. So I'm really sorry if people are like, oh, I wish that woman would shut up. But hopefully it's answered some questions and it's given me a chance to address things. It's given up on me now. You're just going to go and eat, aren't you? Till he's munching through it all. And it's given me a chance to answer some things that come up repeatedly, and hope that it's been helpful. And now you're all up to date and know what's happening, don't they? Yeah. Right, I'm going to give Toby a little brush and we will see you next Saturday. Thanks for everybody's support. It means the world to us. Take care. Bye for now.